Hi, my name is Veronica Anderson with Wreath by Veronica, and I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make some heat press pillows. I was looking for some heat press pillows because I also do t-shirts and hats and things like that, and I needed some pillows so the heat can condense real well on the transfer vinyl, which is HTV. So I was looking on Amazon to try to find some to purchase. They are very expensive. So I decided to make my own, which I already had a small one already, a 6 by 8. So I decided I need to make one for a sleeve. I also need to make a bigger one for bigger shirts when I have extra large or 2X, 3X. So I needed pillows to go inside of there because sometimes I put designs on front and back and sleeves and on the lower part. So by doing these pillows will help me. So I'm going to show you the materials that you would need to get this project together. First of all, you would need some batting. And this is in 1/2 inch high density foam batting. And I got this from Joann's Fabric. Matter of fact, I got this over here. All you need is a yard because you can make, I'm going to be making 3 pillows. I'm going to be making one for a sleeve, and then I'm going to be making a 10 by 10 and a 5 by 17. So, of course, you would need the foam to go inside of it to sew the Teflon sheets. And you would need Teflon sheets for that as well. So, and I purchased these off of Amazon because it was reasonable. You can get at least about 5 sheets of this for $8.99. And it comes in this box right here. You can get it off of here. And these are 5-pack of Teflon sheets. So 5 comes in a pack of those. You would need some scissors, a rotary cutter. Now you don't have to have just a rotary cutter. I use a rotary cutter so I can get a straight line. If you can cut straight with your scissors, you may use your scissors. You would need some measuring tools. I have some Fiskars rulers already. This one is a 7 right here. This is a 17-inch one, 2 by 17 inch, and I have a 5 by 5, and I also have a 11 by 11, which I purchased these years ago from Walmart. So that helped me to measure out the correct size that I wanted. And then if you don't have a rotary cutter, you can use a measuring tape. Go old school, just use a measuring tape if you have to, if you don't have that. So those are the materials that you need. And you will also need a sewing machine. You don't have to have a fancy smancy sewing machine. All you need is a sewing machine that's going to give you a straight line, which I have a baby lock machine because it's a 2-in-1. It sews and it also embroidery. So I do embroidery as well. So those are the tools and the supplies that you would need to get yourself started. I also have some like not clothespin, but they little pins that I put on the edges of it, so that way I can keep the Teflon sheets even as I do it. Or you can use pins. I choose not to use pins because I did not want to put holes in them. So I have these, and I purchased those pins at Hobby Lobby years ago, and you can get that there. So we're going to get started with that. So I have already prepared this one, and this is how it turned out because I measured it out. This is an 11 by 11. So I'm bringing the camera down just a tad bit. This is a 11 by 11 right here that I have already pre-prepared it, and I do have the pins on the end, the clips on the end. So, and these are called binding, B-I-N-D-I-N-G, binding clips. You know, a lot of quilters use these to hold the binding down real good. So you can get those at Hobby Lobby. So everything that I got here you can get, and I got this here from Joann's, and also it was $14.99 a yard, which I used my 40% coupon. So make sure you use your coupon. I do believe in using coupons. I do not believe in paying anything for a price when you can use a coupon. So this is one I have already made. This is a 5x5. So I have already made one so far. So I'm going to do this 11 by 11 so you guys can see how it is done. It's very simple, guys. It's very user friendly. So that way, because when you go on Amazon and purchase those things can run you up to $80 plus, and you only getting 3 of them. So I'm making my 3 with this. So if you look at it, okay, I got this, the foam. Let me see. Let's add it up. It was $14.99 a yard, so I only got a yard. And when I left out, I paid $9.73 for it. So then I went on Amazon and I purchased my Teflon sheets, in which they was $8.99 for 5. So we'll say $20 for that. And so, and everything else I had. So the rulers and everything else, you can just get that on your own and use, because your kid might have a ruler that they use in school, so you can use that, or your measuring tape and your new sewing machine. So actually all I paid was well, let's say $20 to round it off with the taxes and everything, and that's $20, and I'm getting 3 of these heat press pillows. When you look on Amazon, they are $80 plus. So, and I'm doing it myself. So it's time, and then it's learning. So all you need to do is know how to do a straight line on a sewing machine. Easy peasy. So these are already clipped. So what I'm going to do is adjust the camera right quick. So bear with me with that. I'm going to bring the camera down. So as you can see, that is the sewing machine right there. And bring it up a little bit closer, I'm assuming. So now what I'm going to do is just take it right here. Bring it over. Get it as close to the pillow as the foam rather, as you can. And I'm going to do a back stitch. Make sure that I back stitch, and I'm just doing a straight line. I bring it over as close as you can, because you want it as close as you can to the foam, and then afterwards you will cut the excess off, so then you won't have a problem with that. So I'm just bringing it up just a little bit closer and bring it out a little bit, because I'm going to do a back stitch. And if you're not able to do a straight line, don't stress about it, because you will cut off the excess on the end and no one will see it but you. Bring this up a little bit. So, and you can just feel the foam where you want it to be at, and it'll be where you want it at. Sorry, I guess you say, get started, Veronica. So I'm gonna push start, and it's gonna back stitch a little bit for me, and it's gonna get the going. And you want to make sure you take your pin, your binding clips out, because you do not want to break your needle on your sewing machine. And with this, it's gathering, it's buckling up a little bit, but that is okay, because remember, like I stated earlier, you will be cutting off the excess part of it. hold this down a little bit so it won't stop my going across. Back stitch, and I'm gonna raise my foot up because I'm gonna pivot around, and pivot means that you would bring your fabric around and do not have to worry about it getting out of place. So I'm gonna bring it down again, my presser foot, bring it down and click start, and it's gonna back stitch again. You always want to back stitch because you do not want that'll save you from your material. Your whatever you're making will not come apart on the end. And I'm not really stressing about a straight line like I stated earlier, because you know why? I'm gonna cut off the excess, and that no one would see that. So I'm going to take these clips off right here. And like I stated earlier, you're going to back stitch and you're going to pivot. See, my machine already, I can set it on back stitch and pivot, so I don't have to just have to do it. It'll do it on its own. So you bring up the presser foot, bring it across just like this. And I'm going to bring my presser foot down, take that clip out, and it's going to automatically do a back stitch for me. Bring it up, do that pivot move again. When I think about pivot, it makes me think about basketball. When the guys be doing a pivot move, bring the presser foot down, and it's gonna back stitch and get me started. And it's gonna crumple up. You know, some people have it straighter, but like I stated earlier, I'm not worried about that because I'm going to cut off the excess. Up, and mine's automatically cut. As you can see, got right here, and I can go back down here again, just right down this little part right there. So, and that's easy peasy, and I'm gonna do that. I'm not liking the way that came out. See, now it is closer in. So I'm gonna bring the camera, just adjust it, just turn it around just a little bit. Like I was showing you, is right here. I went over right here, so I made another stitch. So I'm gonna use my rotary cutter and just cut down that line. And if you're gonna use a rotary cutter, make sure you have a mat under it, self-healing mat, that'll help you. So, but you don't want to cut the stitch. You want to cut away from it, because number one, if you cut the stitch, you will cut up everything else that you have worked hard for. And trust me, I have done it before, and it's not pretty. I mean, you can fix it, don't get me wrong. And I'm not looking for just prettiness on this, because I'm using it on my heat press. I'm just stay as closest to this line as I can. Okay. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut the stream of the, like this back here, you know, when it back stitches, it leave that little, and all you have to do is cut it off. And there you have it. I have a 11 by 11 foam pillow. That's exactly how it is. I'm going to show you the one that I did purchase. Now, I purchased this one online, and it's the same. It's just flatter. Mine is just a little firmer, a little heavier. It's because I've been using this one, but it's just the same. They did the same thing. They cut and they sewed it around, and they left their little strings on here. I cut mine off. So there you have it. So I have made me a heat press pillow, and that turned out nice. And sorry, I was looking at the camera to see what it was saying. But however, that is how you make it. And I have this one here that I have. This is for like when you're doing a sleeve, or if you're doing a some pants with on the leg, and you want to put it on inside, so the HTV would enhance real good, and it'll seal up real nicely. So there you have it, guys. I showed you how to make a heat press pillow. Bring the camera up just a little bit. So that's how you make a heat press pillow. I hope you enjoyed this little mini tutorial. And if you feel free to want to make a heat press pillow, you can. Just use my instructions. And please, if you could, like my video and subscribe to my channel. So those are what you can do. And always remember, put God first, and everything else will fall in line. Bye-bye.